Welcome, everyone, to the We Smell Good podcast. My name is Brando. This is my wife, Sophie.
Hello.
We are about to have some really stinky takes. So, did you put on deodorant?
Oh, I put on deodorant every day. Even though I'm an anime fan, I'm constantly putting on deodorant.
Well, what a wonderful way to start this podcast, but with The Last of Us Season 2. We finally finished.
Are we diving into that right away? We're not even warming up. This is our warm up.
If you have a warm up take, I'm down.
I was gonna say no. This is a good warm up though.
I'm just freshly off that, so
I just wasn't sure if they wanted to see us, get it all heated right away, right off the bat. First, 60 seconds into the pod.
In my opinion, that's the best warm up right there.
Okay, valid. Go ahead. I know he has a lot to say. So
as you do too,
I definitely have less to say than you.
Well, then, how about you start?
Oh, really?
Well, I'm going to take the whole floor for the next hour.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay. So, as he said, Last of Us Season 2 wrapped up pretty recently. There's been some mixed reviews online. Full discretion. I have not played the games, so my opinion automatically is like 50% less valid. Would you agree?
But you watched the playthrough, right?
I watched the I watched PewDiePie play it all the way through.
Even though
4 years ago.
That's not like playing the game. You get some credit.
And I watched the entire playthrough. Like there were no skips. He streamed the whole thing, so I've seen every single scene. I know what the game's about. I just didn't play it myself. So, with that being said, still, my takes are still 50% less valid. The show was a little lackluster, to say the least. Would you say
the show was stinky?
I wouldn't say that it was on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being absolute stinkiest, the most rankest thing I've ever seen. I would say...
Our scale should be burning hot heat. There's a person wearing no deodorant, stinky sweat. That's the worst take. The good take is fresh flowers, lavender.
Okay. Somewhere in between there. I don't think it was.
I'll cook that idea a little bit more.
I was gonna say we'll work on that one. Anyway, I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life in terms of a remake. It wasn't like The Last Airbender levels of atrocious, but it definitely was not the best. There were a lot of unnecessary changes for whatever reason the director decided to do them. I don't know. But then the first episode, it just started off so strong. Would you agree? That first episode.
So far, I agree with everything you've said.
Yeah. That first episode was amazing. Literally, the opening scene with the battle on Jackson, oh my God, that was not in the game. And honestly, I thought that fit right in. I thought it was really cool. It was a cool thing to add. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, okay, we're not just adding shit that doesn't make sense. We're adding to an already good piece of media, right? We're just adding stuff to make it better.
Yeah, in my opinion, when you play the game, that level of action is basically portrayed in that one scene with the battle, the attack on Jackson.
Yeah.
When you play it, it's constantly action-packed. You're trying to fight.
The stakes were high.
Yeah. And you watch that scene and you realize that's exactly how I felt playing the game.
Yeah. It was I was stressed. I literally was I told him when we were watching it, I was like, dude, I'm on edge right now. I need to go smoke a joint or something to relax. Because that was crazy. But yeah, literally heart palpitations. Then the rest of the show happened. I just want to preface by saying I don't think it's Bella Ramsey's fault. I think that she was given a poorly done script. She's not writing the character of Ellie. We have to remember, she is going to work, clocking in, and doing what her bosses tell of her. It's not her fault that she was casted in this role and was given a terrible script, okay? I thought she did great in season 1. I thought she could have done a lot better in season 2 and showed a lot more grit like the original Ellie. But unfortunately, the script she was given never allowed her to. Also, the costume design was not my favorite either. They were way too clean for me. Dina had a fresh curl and blowout every single episode. And I was like, girl, do they have dry shampoo in the apocalypse? What's going on here?
Her hair was curled.
Her hair was curled. She was wearing some fancy belt with some perfectly fitting jeans. I was just who's Who's designing this shit? I don't feel like I'm
That's so
in the
funny
apocalypse.
that's your take, because I completely missed all that. It wasn't until like the very end that I realized, yeah, everyone was looking way too clean.
Yeah, and that's because I'm a really big fashion and like makeup person. Like, you know, I love those things. I went to school for those things. So I automatically notice in media, like when people are dressed accordingly based on, you know, what the situation and the setting is supposed to be. So when I saw Dina dressed the way she was, I was just kind of like, okay. Oh, sorry.
Continue. You're good.
I was just kind of like, okay, like you look like you literally like, you know, shop at the mall like every other week. Like just because they're wearing the same outfit, like a fucking cartoon character, doesn't mean that they're like, you know, dressed for the apocalypse. Does that make sense?
I agree with you.
I don't know. It was a little, that distracted me. A little, not my favorite part. I would say, honestly, that's probably the thing that bothered me the most. Second,
Really?
Yeah. Second would be just like the unnecessary additions to the story, but because I don't have as much of an attachment to this game as you do, like I don't lose any sleep over it. This ain't my first shitty remake. Like I said, I'm an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. Okay, I've been disappointed many times.
We'll talk about that in a bit. Live adaptations these days are just not good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start off my argument or my whole deep dive into this subject by stating I'm not a very good arguer. Like, give me a moment to build momentum, then I can work my case out. And that's why I would make a terrible lawyer. But I do have a lot to say about the season.
That he does.
Of course. And as we go through my bullet points, I will be asking you some questions, and I can't wait to hear your opinion, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
So we're going to start off by my thoughts on the season as a whole. Definitely was not on par on the first one.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
The first one was great. I would say I have very little complaints about the first season of The Last of Us. And we had the same cast. We had Bella Ramsey, we had Pedro Pascal, and we had, you know, my favorite thing about the whole Last of Us live adaptation are the side characters. Like every person that gets casted to play, Jesse, Tommy. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Even the random characters that in the game only had one or two lines. Yep. And in the first season, how we had a full episode dedicated to a side story, and it was masterpiece. Yeah. Peak cinema. You know, this show does that right. Every character casted in here does a great job acting. And that includes Bella Ramsey. Like the first season, Bella Ramsey worked.
They ain't gonna like you for this take.
No, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a stinky take, but she was immature, she was rash, she was destructive. That works for season 1. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about season 2, part 1, because there's gonna be 3 parts of this.
Which is also so annoying.
Whatever. You know what? Whatever. I can't keep complaining about everything because people gotta make money. Fine. I'll lose that one. But we're using the same Bella Ramsey from season 1 into season 2. That's already my number one biggest gripe with this show. We don't have a character that's maturing. The last time we saw Bella Ramsey on season 1 was years ago.
Yeah.
How many years? I think it was 3 years, which I get it. That's not a lot of time. But now we're walking into the next season expecting to have like a more deeper, takes, more human emotion. And Bella Ramsey didn't mature at all. My God.
Wait, are you talking? I'm sorry. When you say 3 years, are you talking about season 1 to season 2?
Season 2.
Like IRL or in the game?
In the game.
Okay, just making sure. I thought in the game she was like 15, and then it's like a 5-year time skip.
You have to do more research.
I think it's 5-year. I think you're incorrect there. I'm 99% sure it's a 5-year time skip.
Maybe I should word it by saying that there was a time gap. There's a time skip.
Yes, there's a time skip where she becomes a young adult to an actual adult.
Yes, from a teenager to a young adult.
Yes.
Long story short, this character is being butchered live.
Before our
eyes, she's giving the worst lines, the worst execution, and personally, I feel like we get glimpses of her potential in the scenes that have been ripped straight out of the game.
Yep, agreed.
If we could have maintained that level of writing in her character development, we would have a good show.
We wouldn't even be having any problems.
I don't think many people would complain. But you give her the worst lines. You give her, for some reason, she forgets that she is a survivor in a post-apocalyptic Earth,
Yeah.
You fought these monsters before. You fought raiders before. You've gone through it you went to one end of the country to the other. in a whole adventure and you just forgot how to survive. Like, that makes no sense to me. That is one of my biggest gripes with the show as well.
How reckless she
Oh
is.
my God.
I hate.
She can't function without
Sorry.
Gina. No,
Dina.
Dina.
By the way, Brenda loves to pronounce names wrong, so just get used to that. No, literally, I just sorry. I want to like comment on that part. The fact that she's a fucking idiot, like the entire time, so reckless, not even thinking about her survival. Like, I understand that she's technically immune, and you know, she has like, I guess, that plot armor, but at the same time, just the way that she's going about things is like not just being reckless and careless of herself, but being reckless and careless of the people with her who she supposedly, Dina, is in love with. If I'm in love with someone, I'm not, you know, putting them in harm's way with my reckless stupidity. I don't know, like that just seems like, you know, common sense. But that's not what we're getting from this Ellie.
In any show, in any scenario,
yeah.
If you were to find out that the person you care for halfway through a, you know, revenge plot is pregnant, that would change things. That would change things.
Okay, first off, like the fact that she was like happy and not pissed off like she was in the game.
I'm gonna be a dad? What is that line?
I'm gonna be a dad. Like, literally, what fucking straight person wrote that line?
She could have said
what? No, literally, what wannabe woke straight person wrote that dumb ass line? Like, literally, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. That set back fucking lesbians 10 years, because what the fuck was that dumbass line? I'm gonna be a dad. Like, keep in mind, the baby's dad is alive and well, Jesse, okay? Like, he's alive at this point, and he's literally the father of the baby. Like, I can't even imagine being, like, the father of a child and then having this random woman who has a crush on, you know, my baby's mother saying, I'm gonna be a dad. Bitch, what? Like, what? Like, apocalypse aside, that is some dumb shit to say. Like, even IRL, even if the apocalypse never happened, what the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna be a dad. That's the dumbest shit ever.
It just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
And they thought they cooked with that line. They thought they cooked so hard. You know that they were in the fucking studio, like, in some of these and some of these, like.
And the reason why I keep bringing up that line, it's one of many. There are many times where even Ellie is trying to show some development or some emotion, like that one scene where Eugene was killed off. And
don't even get me started on that scene.
Oh my God, we are doing such a terrible job at this podcast. Huge spoiler alerts for the entire season. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
We forgot to do a spoiler alert. Maybe we need to include one in there.
This is your warning.
This is your late warning about spoilers about season 2. She develops a whole issue around Joe lying. We've already known that Joe lied to her initially, and this is her finding out that Joe's a bit of a liar. And she gives off this line where she tells the person going through grief, who just lost them, that he lied, by the way, that wasn't true, what he just said. Time and place.
Time and place to be a bitch. Ellie. The crazy part about that scene where he lies to Eugene's wife, I can't remember her name, about how Eugene died and whatnot, because he actually ended up shooting him, and, you know, he made it seem like Eugene was more heroic in the end than he actually was. There was a reason for that. There was no reason for his wife to have to know the truth. What in the world would the truth would have, like, what would that have done? Do you think that would have made her sleep better at night? You know, like, it's like one of those things where it was very much for Ellie and her own selfish, you know, reasons to then, you know, tell his wife that Joel was lying about how he died and he actually ended up, like, executing him and killing him, which, by the way, is the rule. Like, he did the right thing. Joel literally did what he was supposed to do in that moment. Unfortunately, when you're in survival, which everybody seems to be fucking forgetting, you can't sit here and bend the rules. There's a reason that Jackson is now a functioning society. It's because rules are in place and rules are upheld. Nobody gets special treatment. So for Ellie to be so fucking pressed that she basically didn't get her way and, you know, Joel didn't show this man mercy, he did his job. The whole reason she has a home to go back to after this is because of decisions like that need to be made. There would be no Jackson if decisions like that weren't made.
There was a reason why Joel was like in charge of like doing the patrols because
Yes.
his trust in protecting Jackson is very shown there.
It's
like
very high. People think very highly of him.
You need people who can make them like this. Okay,
Yes.
in a constant battle that you're going uphill against raiders and zombies, you have to make tough calls, and that was one of them. And Ellie is making it seem like it was just a selfish reason. No, he's protecting Jackson.
It was valid.
It was valid.
You know, is it right to lie? No. But in this scenario, it's understandable why he did. And she had no reason to sit there and expose him like that. Because, like I said, it benefited nobody. It benefited nobody.
What is it called? Like character assassination?
Yeah, it was such a character assassination. Oh my God. It literally was like, why did we even add this in here?
When the core values and characteristics of a character is completely changed out of nowhere, this is not the Ellie in game. Ellie in game would not do this.
No.
And I think I'm just a little bit coping here, but this entire character is completely different from the game.
She's giving a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
And like, and I get like, as someone who was probably the most insufferable young adult / teenager ever, and my mom probably hated me.
You still are.
I'm older now. Okay. I understand like, that type of like character, but Ellie's not that type of character in this game. So why are we introducing it? Mm-hmm. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, yes, she's like a little bit stubborn. Like that's in her personality, but like, this fucking selfish, spoiled brat that we're seeing on screen is not the Ellie from the game. Like, straight up, I don't know who this is. I'm genuinely mad at the writers for doing her so dirty. And honestly, for doing Bella Ramsey dirty, especially because she was already getting so much hate after season 1 just because she's, like, not, like, an aesthetically pretty, like, person. Like, oh, fuck, I just realized Bella Ramsey goes by they, them. My bad. They are not a aesthetically beautiful looking person. Yeah. And you know what? It's the apocalypse. Who fucking cares? The fact that you're sitting here trying to goon over Ellie like makes me mad. I think Bella Ramsey was a fine casting choice and they did a great job in season 1. Now the writers really screwed them over in season 2 because holy crap. Now you're really turning the audience against them.
I feel for her as a fellow ugly person. Oh, sorry, them. As a fellow ugly person, I'm kidding.
Stop.
I can't even imagine like the balls and the pressure that you are constantly like, I don't know why I said it like that. Let me start with saying the amount of pressure you're constantly on by being recorded for all time. Mm-hmm. And then constantly being like talked about like
online.
Like your physical appearance determines how good a character is going to be. That makes no sense.
And they just don't live up to whatever the beauty standards are. So now they get shit on by the internet and blah, 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 blah. It's like,
you're taking yourself out of the show at that point because that's not the point. I don't, no one's here going like, oh, can I fuck this character so I can give a shit about it? Like, what? Okay, dude. Well, I'm going to finish off this part of like my discussion about season 2, part 1. It's going to be a good one.
Stupid.
By saying that there was a lot of good in this season too. There was like a lot of good stuff that happened. Most of it was the things that sometimes were added outside of the actual game itself, like the attack on Jackson. I'm going to go with just more in depth about the Seraphites and their culture, just before you would watch this as you're playing the game. Now they're giving you like a full, part where you can live in their lives and see what they're doing. One of my favorite scenes was how they just used the first 5 minutes of an episode to establish, what's his name again? The commander Isaac of the Wolves by just being a complete savage.
Oh my God, when he throws the grenade in the truck, that was crazy. Also, Josh Peck randomly being in it.
Yeah, where's the door?
Drake, where's the door?
It's locked. Boom.
Literally so funny. But no, seriously, and like I didn't see that coming. When that happened, I literally was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck just happened?
And I feel like that scene where we went through a flashback for Joel's character back to when he was in Texas, back when his dad was apparently like a really old school father,
abusive old school father cop,
old traditional values and stuff, and Tommy was there and he was really afraid of him. Like that showed a lot of emotion and I liked that. That was nice. And
that was good.
That was never in the game. You never heard about Joel's father other than like maybe 1 or 2 sentence callbacks. But I didn't enjoy it as much when you're giving me scenes where we constantly keep destroying Ellie's character.
Yeah.
We get a scene where she's trying to save one of the cultists from being killed by a pack of wolves.
Yeah, there's like 6 dudes trying to kill one of the Seraphites, and
she's-
Ellie's like,
and-
"Oh, we have to go save him."
Out of nowhere, she wants to save people.
Ellie in game would not give a fuck. She would not give a fuck.
Do you care about the people around you or not? Like, make up your mind.
And keep in mind, she's with Jesse, and Jesse definitely would have gotten his shit rocked. Like, you know, so it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that shit was annoying. I agree.
It's like you constantly give me peak, and then you bring me down all the way to dirt tier.
You know what I really did like, too, actually? Was how they ended up incorporating the spores.
Okay. Ah, man.
I liked it.
I think that's when you and I will have, like, a little bit of beef. I hated it.
Really? Why?
Because that showed me how weak the directors and the writing is. In the first season, they made it a notable thing to not include spores because it ruins the immersiveness. The masks would create a problem, this and that, and they just took it all back. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
It just shows me how your talent for writing is.
What were they supposed to do in that scene? That scene is literally like, you know, the spores. Like, you're breathing spores. That's literally what she says.
And I was looking.
What are they supposed to do?
No, you're right. And I was looking forward to seeing how they would handle the situation, and they gave up. Too difficult. We're going back to the spores.
Oh my God. I don't think so. I think if anything, like, I kind of like the spores reveal this way because.
Do you want? Okay, finish this thought, and I'll give you an example of why the spores was such a fucking letdown.
Okay, fine. Like,
Go
okay.
ahead.
The reason I liked it was because it almost like gave like it was like a new reveal to, you know, how this fungus or this disease has like spread and like, you know, come about. Like, it's evolving.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's evolving.
It was cool to see how they made it like not just like, you know, nothing. Like, they were like, okay, shit, like now this is evolving. And like even before we saw the scene with Ellie and I can't remember the girl who breathes in the spores, what's her name?
Nina?
Nina. Is it
Dina?
No. The girl who she kills.
Oh, yes. Her character. We
Yes,
know
her
who you're
character.
talking about.
Before we
need to
see
start
that-
writing down
I know,
characters'
we need to
names.
start writing
We're
down
so bad at
characters'
this.
names. Before we see her kill her, we have that scene where, you know, it's the wolves and they're like, yeah, we sent people down there and they didn't come back. They said, like, you know, there's spores down here.
Oh, you're talking about like the beginning of the episode.
When they're talking when the girl's talking to I think she's talking to Isaac. No, she's talking
to another commander.
She's talking to another commander. Basically, she's saying like, I sent people down there and they're not coming back. They said that there are spores down there.
Yeah.
And they breathed in the spores. Long story short, like, you know, basically, and they're like, fuck, like, this is not good. Like, we can't tell anyone. Like,
and they just sealed it off.
And they just sealed it off. And then we get the whole scene with Ellie and killing her. I thought that was pretty cool because it gave like a whole new level,
which is fine,
of what's it called, of stakes. You know, like it you know, we in the game the spores already existed and that was fine. You know, and I don't hate that concept, but I don't mind how they left it out of the first one and then instead just introduced it at a later time in the show. That genuinely didn't bother me. I thought it was introduced in a really cool, kind of fucked up way.
Yeah.
To where I was like, damn, okay, like, I fuck with this, actually.
That's fair. I respect that. That's an honest opinion. And the reason why I don't like it is because it took away one of my favorite scenes from the game out of this entire story.
The Dina Ellie scene?
The Dina Ellie scene is one of the best ways to explain their relationship and how much Dina cares for Ellie. The reason why Dina found out that Ellie was immune, her mask cracks in a constant stress situation around spores. She immediately goes to take off her mask and give it to her. That's how much, you know, Dina loved Ellie.
Yes.
And keep in mind, by that logic, you're both dead anyway. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So Ellie's like, no, I'm immune. See, takes off the mask. I'm good. You're okay. That scene had so much emotion. It was so quick, and it explained a lot. Just like that.
I will say that...
And instead, what we got was the reintroduction of spores to justify fitting in a whole scene from the game in a 1-to-1 scale. So that inconsistency grinds my gears.
With that being said, I kind of agree with you because the way that they introduced the spore and the way I did like it, but you're right. Like they could have also done the way they introduced it. Like I said, kept that and then had a scene where when they went down to the subway, they encountered like, you know, like spores or something, you know.
Instead, we got what she got bit, and then she's like, okay, well, I'll sit here and we'll look at each other and see what changes.
But I guess if they encountered spores in the subway, then Dina would have died.
And then what happened? Well, they both can wear masks, but what happened was they figured out, hey, I'm not bit, and she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, let's fuck. Oh, what?
No,
what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Dude. Anyways, to end
also.
My thoughts.
The UTIs on that show must be crazy. Goddamn, bro.
To end the conversation around spores, that was one of my biggest red flags for the writing. You are so inconsistent. Own up to it. If you're not going to include it in the show, don't. If you are going to include it in the show, include it in the show. Make it work.
I don't mind how they did it. I don't care.
All right.
It worked for me.
I want to ask you one question to close out the segment about The Last of Us. Would you what would be, no, you would change something, but what would it be? What would be your biggest change that you would make to this show if you had your way?
Like to follow the original story, or can
I'll give you an example.
They never kill Joel and we live happily ever after?
I'll give you an example. To me, the biggest mistake, the one thing I would change from this show to somehow.
You asked me the question and now
just
you're
answering it. Just so you get an idea so you have time to think about this one. The one way I can almost maybe think to fix the show, and in my opinion would make it a lot better, is 100% taking away the 3-month time skip from when Ellie gets injured into which she hops back in her revenge quest. Just think about it. How long is 3 months?
You're so pressed on that time skip.
It's a long goddamn time. So by then...
I already forgot about it.
Dude,
he's so pressed about it.
I hate the writers, man. Why would you include a 3-month time skip and expect everyone in this world to be on the same page? Like, excuse me? No, in the game, she hit the road the next day. The next day, she was already after Tommy, you know? We are losing so much momentum. And I honestly can't tell you what I'm going to do 3 months from now. Like, who can?
Well, yeah, when you're fucking hospital and, you know, bedridden.
That includes the change. That's the reason why they justified a 3 months time skip, dude. It loses so much momentum and it loses the story. Like, what? Are you going to do like a 3 months?
Okay, you know what? This helped me decide my thing. I would have 100% completely ex-nayed that whole council vote bullshit.
Oh my God.
That shit was dumb.
The council vote was the
Why the fuck did that, by the way, did not change the outcome of anything.
If you skip that part of the episode, nothing changes. It would be the same thing. It's the same episode.
It's the same episode.
You're probably getting more closer to the game.
No, it's crazy because it's the same episode and then the same show. Like even at everything that happens, even at the last episode, like you know, from then until then, it's still the same thing. That was so fucking unnecessary. Like I literally was like, why? Like, are we just like running out of airtime? Do we not know what to fill this time with? Like, you know, who cares what these people think? Obviously, anybody who's played the game and anybody who watches any sort of media whatsoever knows this trope that, you know, no matter what the vote is, this person's going to do what they want. So why the fuck are we putting it to a vote?
No one in this planet thought for a second this would have passed. So
yeah, exactly. We all knew. Yeah. We all knew it wasn't going to pass. And like the fact that they had to like have this whole council meeting and be like, oh yeah, well, we're not going to send all these people. It's like, bro, that literally could have been an email. Like, it could have literally been an email. Like, what is this?
A quick sentence, like, hey, we all talked about it at the council. It didn't go through. Like, done,
boom, done.
That was literally like an entire episode.
Right there. Like, literally, it could have been a one-off comment from Maria to Ellie to Tommy, any of them.
I like that.
And it would have been progress the story. All right, cool. I'm going to head out then. Like,
imagine in my perfect world where you didn't have a 3 months time skip and they're trying to do that whole council scene while everything's in ruins. Now that would make more sense.
No, and that's what pisses me off too. Is like we already had the 3 month time skip, which I didn't mind. I didn't care. But the fact that like we're now doing a fucking council meeting, dog, we've wasted enough time. Obviously, Ellie's gonna go no matter what. Like, you don't even need to play the game to know that. Like, why are we sitting here having this scene? Like, so fucking stupid. So stupid. And then, like, Jesse, like, being on the council and not voting for Ellie. Like, duh. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, like...
Jesse's one of the most smartest people in this universe.
He's smart. And I will say, I do like show Jesse more than I like game Jesse.
Absolutely.
And, you know, huge spoiler alert. Click away right now. When he fucking died in the show, I got hurt all over again, bro. I literally was like... I was like, fuck! Like, I literally was so mad. I was
when he dies
so
off in
mad.
game, you're like, damn, all right.
I'm like, damn, okay, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That's my boy.
He dies
But
in the show. You're like, no.
I'm like, no, Jesse, no. Even though I knew it was coming, like literally.
And he's such a cool dude. He not only told Ellie, listen, like, I don't respect you because you're selfish, but I'll still come and save you.
Yes.
And Ellie just doesn't do that.
Oh my
Ellie is the complete
God.
opposite. Tommy's getting like, shot at, and he's like, but there's like a small chance
Bruh.
like she's over there.
Bruh.
It's been 3 months. I already forgot how she looks like.
Also, like, can we talk? Hold on. We have to like wrap this up soon because we're talking too much about it. But the one scene where she washes up on the beach of the whatever Seraphite's island, and then like just like they're like, oh, let's kill her, and then they like hear some bombs or whatever. They like leave her. I'm like, why did we need that scene?
I'm sorry, that was the dumbest part of that episode.
Ass.
That's the ending, right? And let me tell you why that's so dumb. She could have been part of that team that's killing your fucking people at your village, and you're gonna be like, "Now you're good. Okay, I'll be right back."
Yeah.
What?
You hear bombs,
What?
and you're just like, "Yeah, just leave her here."
Yeah.
Even though she's probably one of them because we don't know any.
Should we check her for bombs or no? Just leave her there. You're good.
Yeah, we're like, no, we don't know anything about her. We have no context on why she's here. But we heard bombs over there, so we're gonna let you live.
Yeah.
Even though you could literally shoot us the minute we fucking turn our backs.
I was almost expecting a quirky line where she's like, "You're welcome," and then she just leaves her there.
No,
like,
literally. I was like, why are we like? And also tell me why that added absolutely nothing.
Just like a lot of this show, it adds
to
a
the
lot
story.
nothing. Yeah. If
Like,
anything, it just shows me how weak the writing is.
In season 3, I better get like something to reference that made sense to why that one person made that decision, because otherwise, why?
I love how you said that, because these are my final thoughts on the show. I'm actually genuinely excited for season 3, and let me tell you why in 2 simple words. I'll take a break from Ellie. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I need a break from Ellie.
I feel
Give me
like
Abby. That's how you know it's bad, when we're like, give us Abby.
Dude, give these people a chance to shine. I feel like Ellie needs to take a break. She needs to reevaluate her values and consider maybe maturing a little bit,
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see a new set of cast, take their own perspective and their own decisions in this world. I'm excited for that. I can't believe I'm saying that. I thought, honestly, after what episode was it? It was like episode 5. Can we talk about how every season is like 7 episodes? What the fuck was that about?
Literally,
Anyway,
oh my God.
halfway through the episode on season 1, episode 4, I honestly considered dropping it. I was like, I don't want to keep watching this.
Mm-hmm.
But
can we talk about how these streaming services are kind of ruining shows like this? Because you know why they split it up into like 3 parts like this?
as Mr.
Money.
Krabs would say,
Money.
money.
Like, they want you to stay subscribed until they drop the 3rd season. If this was just airing on HBO and we all had fucking cable like back in the day and we were tuning in at fucking 7 p.m. Central or whatever the fuck, then we'd be getting probably 24 episodes. This would be wrapped up in maybe 1 or 2 seasons.
You need to have a PhD to know that they're doing a season 1 for Ellie's first part, season 2 for Abby's next part, and then season 3 is going to bring us back to season 1 to continue the story.
It's just annoying. Like, genuinely, I feel like streaming services are kind of ruining stories like this, because it's like, dude, like, why are we...
The first season was done correctly.
Of course, but
fit it all in
you're
one
not
season.
listening to me. What I'm saying,
sorry.
I'm talking about streaming services and how they're fucking ruining these shows.
Corporate greed.
Like, literally, it's like, why can't we just like get it all done in one sitting? No, because we want you to stay subscribed for long periods of time, so we can take your money for 3 years, and then, I wouldn't even be surprised if after season 3 they took a season 4 to then give us the whole, Ellie going back after Abby kind of bullshit and make that its whole season. Yeah. Like, that is just, these greedy fuckers, bro. Honestly, bring back cable. Bring back cable. I'm tired of streaming services. HBO, you're annoying. Netflix, you're annoying too. Actually, some stuff on Netflix is okay. But HBO especially, you're pissing me off with this shit. Like, oh my God, really? Waiting all this time. And then we have to wait like 2 years. And
then the momentum dies, you forget the story, and then you're like, okay, what else is coming out around this time?
Corporate greed kills everything. All right.
Moving on to our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about nerd news, what's going on this week, what we got planned, and just what keeps popping up in our calendar.
Yeah.
We're going to start off.
We have important lives. No, we don't.
I dare say we have no lives. One Piece!
Was that a vocal stem?
No, it's One Piece. We got the first look.
No, it's One Piece.
The reason why we're talking about One Piece now for nerd news, it's a live adaptation that's so far.
The new Chopper.
The new Chopper is out. The new season's gonna come out. Oh, we're gonna take. Oh my God, Chopper's arc. I'm gonna cry like such a little bitch, bro. This is the first time in the show that I cried.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
One Piece is GOAT. It's too short. It needs to be longer.
Stop.
We're using CGI to create one of the fluffy characters in One Piece for those who haven't watched it. And
Everybody knows who Chopper is.
I think you never know.
If they're watching this podcast, they know who Chopper is, okay? It's not like our mom's watching this podcast.
That's fine.
All right?
You don't know who Chopper is. You don't really know who he is.
I don't watch One Piece and I know who Chopper is, okay?
So what are your thoughts? Do you like it?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah?
I mean, you can only do, you can do so much with that design. Honestly, I'm surprised that more people didn't flame it. I feel like whenever like a character like this comes out, like remember
Like
when
Sonic?
Sonic,
Yeah, talking about Sonic?
Never forget.
Ooh,
never
cursed.
forget Sonic. But seriously though, whenever a character like this or something like that like comes out, I feel like people are so quick to judge it and so quick to shit on it. But I'm telling you, the One Piece live action has some serious plot armor because you know what it is though? Oda approved it. And if Oda approved it, then the fans approved it. And that's really just what it comes down to. Because he approves everything on that show.
Yeah, that's what he did for the first season. That's right.
He's doing it for all the seasons.
You're right.
Yeah, so if Oda approves it, then guess what? The fans approve it. So that's why.
And
Can you imagine if more creators, like with their IPs, like the creator of Sonic came out and was like, actually, I support this. Like, maybe.
I dare say.
Do you think it would have
I dare say that everyone who worked in the game for The Last of Us would disapprove of this season because they know, like, you're changing a lot of things, my guy. But on that conversation, I just noticed something just now. So many live adaptations. The next subject I wanted to talk about was Lilo and Stitch. Another remake / live adaptation. Oh my God.
Yo, okay, hold on.
What's happening?
I gotta say for context though, like, okay, so to let you in on a little behind the scenes of our podcast, the We Smell Good podcast, we recorded an entire episode.
Oh, our first technical difficulties.
Our first, this is like, it has to be some sort of podcast canon event, I'm sure. We recorded an entire episode and my mic didn't work. So we basically had to scrap.
Audio was one mic and Sophie sounded so far
I sounded
away.
like on the other side of the room. So we had to scrap it completely, unfortunately. But
we will be recording that episode. Don't you worry.
Shush. You're not letting me talk. But I wish we could show the footage of when he told me the ending of Lilo and Stitch. Because, oh my God, I literally gasped. I literally clutched my pearls, bro. I was like, what the actual fuck is that ending? Spoiler alert. By the way, if you haven't seen the live action Lilo and Stitch, see, I remember to do it.
Good catch.
The live action Lilo and Stitch ending ends with Nani giving Lilo to CPS.
Because she wants to go to the mainland to study marine biology.
She wants to go to study marine biology.
Wait, where
on the
are you
mainland,
again?
even though she lives in Hawaii.
You're in Hawaii, the leading state for marine biology.
Literally, that's like me leaving California to go to Ohio to study palm trees. Like, what? What? Like, what the? Dude, and the fact that she gave Lilo up to the system, Ohana means family, and nobody gets left behind unless CPS is involved, apparently. Because what the fuck? That literally blew my mind. Because I heard online that people were having discourse about the ending. And they were like, oh my God, like it sucked. What the heck was that? And I didn't hear why. He literally told me that shit. My jaw dropped. Like, why?
And the director owned up to it. He's like, oh, this is my interpretation of the story. This is how it should end. I'm like,
these directors.
did you not watch the first movie?
These directors have way too much fucking creative freedom. Holy shit.
Did all that happen? They took away Gontu, the main villain of the first movie. They made Jumba the villain,
which is crazy.
I love his character. He was one of my favorite characters. His voice acting, everything he did, it was so great.
Why though? Why are we doing this? Why? Like literally, why? Like these directors need to be fucking hung up in the street and tarred and feathered and have stones thrown at them because literally, what is happening? Why do you think this is a good idea? What's wrong with the original source material? It's aged really well. There's nothing that needs to be changed. Like the fact that you have this dumbass ending that it's gonna age poorly. It's already aging poorly. It's been out for 5 minutes and it's already aged like milk. Like, and then apparently Stitch just goes home. And he doesn't even get to stay with Lilo. Like,
no, he gets sent back to the galactic government or whatever happens. Yeah, that's so unimportant because at this point I just clocked out.
But in the show,
this movie is so
stays.
stupid.
He stays and Nani stays and they make it work. Like, the whole point of Disney movies, by the way, is for it to be unrealistic. Okay, we already have
Wrong. It's to sell merchandise.
Okay, shut up.
It's to make money.
It's to be unrealistic. It's to have a story that makes you feel good, like, you know, literally fairy tales, right? You're telling me that Lilo going into the system and Nani abandoning her for school on the mainland and Stitch going back to the galactic government is fantasy? Like, you know, like
realism.
Everybody's like, you know, wow, like fairy tale, so fairy tale of you. Like, fuck you.
You know what's really sad? It's working. It's making Disney a lot of money. Merch sales, ticket sales, box office, dude. They don't see the issue because they see the dollar signs.
Yeah.
So this is a huge L for the community that loves the original Lilo and Stitch movie.
Even, by the way, we are not Disney people. We are not. We are not fucking Disney adults. We don't fuck with Disney like that. Like, we just like this shit because we grew up with it.
So yeah, I agree with you. I still love Lilo and Stitch movie.
Of course, me too. But we're not Disney adults.
Okay, sure. But
I have to specify that.
Okay, my bad.
Listen, we're a lot of things. Okay, we're anime fans. You know, all this decor, the anime tattoos, the shirts, the cringe. All right, we're a lot of things.
We're anime fans first.
We're anime fans, sure. First and only.
First and only.
First and only. I want to make that very clear. We are not Disney adults.
It's really sad when you have an already established media that's phenomenal and someone tries to recreate it and do their own take on it. Everything we've discussed thus far.
That's what I mean. Like, why the fuck would they change it? It aged fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that's just so annoying, honestly. Just so disappointing because that just like opens the door for them to fuck up other shit in the future.
With great anxiety, I am looking forward to the next season of One Piece because this is one of really important seasons there, and it's gonna take a lot to make me hate it. And I know I'm just so exhausted with remakes, and man.
You know what though?
Man.
You know what though? I want to talk about this in terms of anime remakes. The Kakegurui remake, that was really good.
I don't trust you.
It was really good. Why don't you trust me?
Because you have really terrible taste.
No, I don't.
They stink.
He says I have terrible taste. Meanwhile, the whole reason we even got together was because I told him what animes I had seen and like sent him a list. And he literally was like, ooh, like she likes anime. Like, oh my God, a girl who likes anime, I'm interested.
I know. And I didn't see One Piece in there. What was I thinking?
Yeah, no, this guy is full of crap. He likes my taste.
All right, moving on. We're going back to ew. We're going back to we're saving ourselves till marriage, okay?
Stop.
Going back into anime, this week I'm looking forward to watch the Dan Dan movie, okay? So there's a lot to talk about this. Not only are we doing another season into a movie, you know, Demon Slayer has done it before. I'm kind of excited. I really am. Dan Dan was so colorful. The music, the character designs, the voice acting. Honestly, it should have won more awards, but I digress. It's just a personal preference. I love the manga, and this arc is going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see it. Did you watch the first season at all?
I didn't watch the first season.
Are you even interested in watching it?
I am. I know it was nominated for a bunch of awards for the Anime Awards, and that
most of it was the intro, no?
I don't remember, but
the music.
That put it on my radar, so I do want to watch it. I just kind of have a lot in the queue right now.
No worries. Well, I'm hyped.
Yeah.
So stand by for my thoughts on. This is like.
Wait. I want to talk about
technically
something.
Season 2. Go on.
You just said it. Why are animes now doing this whole Season 2 as a movie?
100% blame Demon Slayer.
I know.
It's their fault.
They like ruined it for everyone.
The train arc was condensed into a movie, and it fucking worked. It made them so much money, and it was honestly, it was well paced. I gotta say.
No, I love that movie. I don't even like Demon Slayer, and I really like that movie. But I just feel like sometimes animes that don't need to do it are doing it
Everyone's
because it makes them a ton
it.
of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then, here we are at the topic again of corporate greed. And remember when things just used to air, or movies, were just movies and not, continuations of seasons.
It's as they say, a double-edged sword. So we won't see the damage until these movies come out.
And it's another thing. Okay, I would be okay with the animes. What are you doing?
So I have a list, right? Of what am I doing? Here we go. So far we have Jujutsu Kaisen, it's May 30, and it's the inventory arc. What is it called? I forgot. We have the Dan Dan movie, we have the Demon Slayer movie, and a Chainsaw Man movie coming up.
Wait, we're getting another Demon Slayer movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god.
You just watched the training arc.
And we're getting a Chainsaw Man movie?
That one was news to me.
And a Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
Of course.
Okay, so see, this is where I just have to say we need to put a stop to this. I'm tired of this. Like, this is really annoying.
And here's where...
No. Let me talk. Okay?
Can I just say one thing?
What?
I love you. Okay, go ahead.
No, this is what pisses me off, is the fact that they make these animes into movies, and that's like it's not like back in the day where you used to get a One Piece movie and it wasn't like a continuation, like you know, of the story. Like, it was just like a little side story, or you know, it wasn't even just One Piece, but a lot of animes did that, right?
Yeah.
Where the movie didn't really matter whether or not you watched it; it was just kind of for fun, right?
Mostly shonens, right?
Mostly shonens. Yeah. Like, I know Fairy Tail had a couple of those too, and then usually maybe the last 5 minutes of the movie would drop some lore.
And
like,
most of them are like not canon at all.
Yeah, and some of them wouldn't even be canon. Yeah, like the Inuyasha movies too, even though I love those movies. But anyway, now they're canon, and not only are they canon, they follow along the story. So if you don't watch them and you just tune into the new season next, you don't know what's happening.
It's the next part, yeah.
But the problem is, they're not putting the movies on the streaming sites. So when you go on Netflix and you're like, okay, I want to watch, you know, Demon Slayer season whatever, you have to make sure that they license the movie. Because
okay, so question.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Demon Slayer in general?
This is just an example.
I'm going to give you an example.
Jujutsu Kaisen's also
I'm going to give you an example for Demon Slayer. They did. So after the movie came out, they deconstructed the movie and they created the season. In the streaming service, if you're watching this back to back, you watch the season as if it was a full season, right?
So the movie's now in seasons.
There's both. You can watch the movie or you can watch the full season. Because all they did is just did some quick editing to split it up.
See, this is what I mean.
Which is totally fine. So this is where, like, I'm being really hopeful.
But they don't always do that. I will say they don't always do that. Like, what's it called? Like, I don't think they did that with the Jujutsu Kaisen prequel movie. Like, I'm 99% sure they didn't.
No, that's a full movie for sure. Yeah, because it's like a prequel. It doesn't stand in its own
what pisses me off
season.
Is that when I'm looking up the show on Netflix or Hulu, which is where I watch most of my anime, I don't have Crunchyroll, unfortunately. Like, you know, I don't pirate it really anymore, like, unless I really, really want to watch it. It's like I'm missing a movie. And it's like, I wish it was just all in one place. And I didn't have to, like, look around for what streaming services blank movie on, you know, because I want to catch up with what's happening in season 3. Yeah. And then not only that, I have to go to the movies, pay $20. And by the way, in the US, if there is an anime movie, you have a 3 to 4 day window on which you can see that movie. It's not like it's in theaters for a month. It's 3 to 4 fucking days. And if you're busy on those days, you're shit out of luck. And if the sub is sold out, guess what? You have to go see the dub.
Stop right now, because that's the issue I'm dealing with. Because I still work in the industry, and those are my money making days, and I'm trying to figure out when I can go to watch this movie.
Yes, so and that's what pisses me off. I'm like, if you're gonna air these movies in theaters and have it continue to be, you know, part of the season, give me more than 4 fucking days and 5 showings. Like, that's literally what drives me insane.
We're getting there, honestly. These movies are becoming really popular, and honestly, the American cinema industry is dying, so they can really use some anime viewers.
No, seriously, I'm like, it's not like the theaters are full of really good movies and we don't have anywhere to put these anime movies. Like, bro, are you kidding? Like, if anything, these are what going to bring this is what's going to bring people to the theaters to pay your astronomical ticket prices, like $20 a fucking ticket. You know, that's what pisses me off, is I have to pay $20 a fucking ticket while I'm already paying for the streaming service to go see the continuation. It's like, oh, well, you could just pirate it. I don't want to have to pirate everything, okay? It gets annoying. And then I have to sit there and click out of the pop-up boxes 80 million times on my fucking smart TV, and it's not easy.
When you put it that way, look, I love this idea.
Just drop a season.
So question. Are you, like, fully against it?
I'm not fully against it. Like, time and place.
Mostly against it?
Mostly against it. Listen, time and place.
Okay.
Time and place.
Well, I'm mostly for it, because the way I see it, this gives the animators a break. You have to focus on one straight movie, You can put more budget into this movie. You don't have to split it up between seasons. I don't have to worry about constantly, waiting for the next episode, constantly skipping the intro to get back to where you were. Maybe there's a recap in there.
I agree.
Let me finish. And also, this is a direct way to fund all these amazing people that work on this. I am paying directly to the machine, right? That's terrible.
I'm sorry.
Analogy.
Are you talking about being happy that you get to pay these corporations money?
Yeah, the companies that work for this, I don't really know how this system works, but I'm guessing is that if you go to the movies, you're showing the animation company support. Maybe, am I wrong?
Okay, I get what you're saying there. Yes. Listen, I don't know enough about how Japanese corporations in terms of animation studios run their businesses. What I've heard through the grapevine is that they're overworked and underpaid as animators. So based on that, if that's the case, then what you're saying is
no, you're right. I should do more research into answering the question.
Yeah.
Is it less work to make a movie than a season?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't really know. I'm guessing it is.
You're just yapping as if it's facts. Yeah.
But that's how I feel.
That was interesting. The confidence behind that, even though you had nothing to back it.
Maybe a little stinky take because I haven't done my full research.
I was gonna say that was a stinky opinion for sure.
Stinky.
I will say though, I do agree that for time and place, I don't want them to create a season of them just dragging it out. For example, My Hero Academia season 3, where they just do the training arc for that whole season. That dead ass could have been a movie. That could have been a movie.
No, it couldn't. No, it couldn't.
That could have been a movie.
I would have been a boring ass movie.
That could have been a movie. All they did was drag on this stupid ass training arc for a whole season.
Yeah, so fuck the season. I'll make the cool shit a movie. What was that movie you took me to watch? It was like a Fate movie or something where the main fight was so beautifully animated, full of action, full of colors. Do you remember that movie?
I took you to see a Fate movie?
Was it a Fate movie?
Was it? Wait, okay. Was it Fate?
Oh, it was Sword Art Online. It was yes.
Sword Art Online. Yes. Wait. Was it Ordinal Scale?
I think so.
Oh my god, I love Ordinal Scale.
I could give two shits about Sword Art Online. I'm one of the biggest Sword Art Online haters out there.
I love Sword Art Online.
And I'm telling you,
unapologetically love it. Ordinal Scale is one of my best movies.
Mouth for 10 seconds. I liked the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was fun.
Yeah.
I went in there with the expectation to be whatever, it's Sword Art Online, but they went out for the animation. They had a display, a show. I went for a show, and I loved it.
The story was good too.
Do you really think I care if it's if that movie was like a training season? Are you kidding me? Such a stinky take, Sophie. No,
I don't think so.
I think the reason why
You're missing my point.
I think the reason they're doing it this way is so that movie blows up. So everyone who watches that movie can not even know what the fuck Demon Slayer is about, and they're gonna get it.
Okay.
There's a bad guy and there's a good guy, and they're fighting. Let's get this going.
Okay, you're missing the point of what I'm saying. Is sometimes that does need to. Okay, so for example, the most recent season of Demon Slayer, you said it yourself. It was boring. It was a snooze fest. It was slow.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just made that a movie?
Because that would be a terrible movie.
Why?
I'd rather have a terrible season than a terrible movie. Because in a movie, I'm going to go and pay money for it. A movie, I'm going to sit there probably with friends.
At least in the movie. The pacing, okay, so the part of what you don't like is the fact that you felt like they dragged it on. It was
no. So remember the last episode how I literally quoted meat and potatoes?
Yeah.
We're in the meat now. So I want it served in a silver platter. Okay?
I'm just saying, if, I don't want a season of an anime that's just dragged on just to hit the quota of season. Does that make sense?
But that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the point.
So that should just be a movie. Why are you giving me 12 episodes of nonsense when it could have just been a movie?
The reason why I'm against that idea is because you're selling me on a terrible movie. That would be an awful movie.
Well, it doesn't have to be if they get the pacing right.
Oh my God.
That's the problem, is the pacing's wrong because it's a season. If it was a movie, the pacing would be better.
Well, regardless, it's over. It already happened. Now we're moving forward. If any of these movies that we just lined up are a training arc, I'm going to kill myself because that sounds stupid and boring. Okay?
I am sick of training arcs. I am. I'm really fucking tired of training arcs.
It should be an episode, period.
But yeah, I'm tired of these anime movies, honestly. Unless you're going to give me a full 30 days in theaters for me to pick and choose when I can go and not just a 4-day fucking window, which is always during the week. It is never on the weekends. That's the most annoying part is they always have it during the week on Tuesday through fucking Thursday, and then the times are either like 3 p.m. or 7 p.m. No in between. They only have 2 sub showings and 1 dub showing. And
So I won't show
good
you
luck.
just for like just save some time, but you gotta trust me on this because I was doing research on what day I should go to watch the movie. It's all in the weekend. It goes from Thursday all the way to Sunday.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of times. So things are changing, babe. I think,
Thursday to Sunday, and there's a lot of times. You get 4 days out of how many days was Captain America Brave New World in theaters?
So far. But babe, baby steps. I feel like, as anime becomes more mainstream, people will make the right decisions to keep movies that are anime based longer. Heck, we can even bring back classics,
We've been having anime movies in theaters for probably 5 years now.
And remember, exactly what you described is what was happening. It would be during the weekday. It would be like 1 or 2 showings in English and then, dub, and it'd be really packed because everyone wants to go to it.
But you're telling me baby steps, and I'm like, this isn't baby steps. This is just, we're lagging. We're not making progress.
We'll make that one of your administrative orders.
Literally.
Okay, moving on. We are going into our special events. With each passing week, we get closer and closer to Anime Expo. I think 1 month from now,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be right there. Make it or break it. I'm going to start by asking you a couple questions.
Oh.
My first question is your predictions for Anime Expo. So you can either do bullet points or you can just tell me your general predictions when it comes to what do you think is going to be the standout for us this year in Anime Expo.
Jeez, what's going to stand out for us the most this year at Anime Expo? Honestly, I would probably say the Artist Alley. I think we're really going to like the Artist Alley this year. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there. We're going to spend a lot of money there. And also the cosplays. I know this year that I plan to go a little harder on cosplays and go a little more all out. So for me, I think that's what's going to stand out a lot. It's just kind of the effort that goes into the cosplays that we do. Well, that I do. And that you also do a little bit too. So, yeah.
I dip my toes in it. My predictions for Anime Expo is that this year might be incredibly expensive.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great prediction.
I feel like all the prices are going to go up.
With the tariffs, yeah.
Usually you get a good deal. You can barter. You can, find something cheaper that you would find online. I feel like this year everyone's going to realize, yeah, prices are going to go up. Hold your wallet tight.
Yeah. Well, stuff at Anime Expo is already pretty expensive for the most part. It's not like you go there and it's cheap. You're not there for a deal. Everything's already marked up unless you're buying from an actual licensed booth. For example, figurines, the Good Smile figurines, if you buy them from a third party seller, a third party authorized reseller, they're going to be marked up and more expensive. If you go to if you see the Good Smile booth there and they're selling that same figurine, it's going to be for retail price. But Good Smile, when they usually show up to these events, they don't always sell obviously all their figurines, or there's figurines that maybe these third party resellers have that, Good Smile no longer carries or they've discontinued and stuff like that. So that's why, those ones exist. But if there's a figurine that's currently available right now on Good Smile and you can buy it online for cheaper, or you can buy it for $10 more at the con, with tariffs though, kind of, depends.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think tariffs should matter if it's those types of figurines, especially if they're already in the US.
That's why I'm thinking that this year I'm gonna be making more original work purchases. For the artists that they're the ones drawing it, they're making it here themselves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be more confident buying those because I feel like I don't have to deal with the tariffs and stuff.
Well, no, they're still paying tariffs too because a lot of these artists, they manufacture or get their stuff from China.
That's true.
Unless it's printing. Some of them have US printing places. But in terms of manufactured goods, bags, shirts, stuff like that, that's all China. That's
Is there
all
anything
China.
specifically that you're looking forward to purchase at this con? There's always one thing for me.
I don't know. I genuinely am going into this Anime Expo with just I don't have any I'm gonna go buy that. I just want to see what they have, and don't worry, I'll spend money. Okay, like I'm not gonna be frugal.
We will spend money.
We gonna spend money, but there's nothing that I'm specifically looking for. Maybe some Miku figurines. Like I love a good Miku figurine, and I'd love to get some more that I don't already have, even though I have nowhere to put them. We'll figure that out later. But that's probably it, honestly. Miku figurines.
Yeah, every year I have like a little bit of a theme. Maybe I'm looking for like an anime hat, a specific anime, blazer, or anime jewelry. This year I'm looking specifically for a figurine of a Frieren. I feel like that's gonna be what I'm hunting for, what I'm searching for. That's what I really want.
Let's try and find a cute Frieren figurine. I know the one of her sitting, like holding her knees or whatever, like that's a popular one. So maybe if we see that one, we should buy it. I think we should. That would look cute.
We should look to see what they got.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of going to Anime Expo. You get the right to visually see how it looks before you purchase it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another thing is you get to see what it looks like in person.
Usually when you're buying it like online. It's
don't get me wrong, the pictures online are good, but dude, seeing it in person, like, oh my god, that's literally what made me buy the biblically accurate Miku. I pre-ordered from Good Smile. Oh my god, bro, literally they had it on display first look at Anime Expo last year, and the pre-order was going to be live like 2 months later or something, and I literally was like, yeah, I'm buying that. I still haven't received it though, and I'm afraid it's going to get hit by tariffs, and I'm going to have to pay an extra fee, so I really don't want
Is that how that works? You already pre-ordered it. You already purchased it,
So this is what happened with the whole Good Smile pre-order thing. So basically, they came out with a statement at first when the tariffs first hit, and they were like, 300, 140%, crazy fucking numbers, right?
Yeah.
They came out with a statement that said, we're currently pausing all pre-orders because obviously they didn't know what was going to happen. And then they came out, I think, like a few weeks later, once tariffs kind of went down but are still there a little bit. And they came out with a statement saying, we're now accepting new pre-orders, but any pre-order, that was placed after, and before, I believe. Or no, I can't remember. I think it's pre-orders placed after this announcement will be charged I think it's like a 10% or a certain percentage of a tariff fee that you have to pay. And if for some reason that tariff goes down by the time your order is ready to ship, then they will refund you that amount.
Interesting.
I can't remember. I want to say yes, that it's the same for me who pre-ordered last year, the biblically accurate Miku and the Nendroid Raiden Shogun and the Lust figurine. So those are the three I'm waiting on. I think I might have to pay an extra tariff fee for those once they ship, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I'm going to fucking pay it because I want them. I ordered it.
That's the sad part when you are a hard die fan.
Hard die fan?
Hard die fan?
Die hard fan.
Die hard fan.
Yes.
We were going to pay for it.
I'm going to pay for it. Like, period. At the end of the day, like, I want it. I paid for it. The money's already gone.
That's why we work. That's why we make money.
What's the tariff? Like, the tariff, if it's a 10% fee, I think I paid like 100 and something for the Miku. I can't even remember. It's probably like 200. Who am I kidding? But like, I have to pay it. I want it. Like, it's already, I already have it in my head that I own it. It's just not here yet, so I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not paying that.
It's on its way.
Like, it's on the way. Like, I just got to fucking wait. And these tariffs are not helping. And it's so annoying because it's like, dude, like, that's why I love pre-orders, because it's one of those things where you just pay in advance and then one day it shows up and you're super happy and it's like a free gift,
Yeah.
It's girl math. It's like you pay in advance and then once it shows up, it's like it was free. Because the money was taken out so long ago, it doesn't exist anymore. Like, I have already not had this money for so long that this gift was free. It's like a gift to myself. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Good Smile pre-orders. When
you're doing it, are you like, I'm gonna send myself a gift in the future?
No, deadass. That's literally what it is.
And then you have a note written.
If they had an option to add a note, I would literally be like, to Sophie from Sophie, enjoy in the future.
Queen.
Yeah,
slay.
enjoy Queen. Slay. You've been working so hard.
Man.
Like literally. But
well, with that being said, I think it's time to end the episode. So make your final thoughts.
I was just gonna say more, but okay, whatever.
No, what else are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I'm not currently ordering anything from Good Smile right now, pre-order wise, because of these tariffs.
Yeah,
so
that's smart.
Yeah, also just like I can't really afford it anyway, so it's probably a better idea, But it sucks because there's like a lot of figurines right now, like especially like the Nana Blast figure the resin statue from We Are Anime Collectors that I really, really, really wanted
This is
to
the one
pre-order.
from your TikTok, right?
Yeah,
that
dude,
was
it's like
that was really
it's
good.
like $500 before shipping, and shipping those types of figures based on the ones that we currently have costs like $100.
That's a new graphics card right there.
Yeah, and
$500?
I'm like, dude, and then you have to, like, you don't have to pay for insurance, but you should pay for insurance. By the time everything's said and done, you're looking at like $600-700, and I was like, dude, money is tight right now. Unfortunately, I cannot drop that, which sucks because if it came out a year ago, I probably could have afforded it. But unfortunately, the economy is not our friend right now. So, which is why we need you to go ahead and like this episode and subscribe to this podcast so we can get monetized and make money. So then I can buy more figurines and pay my bills, because who knows how much longer I'll have a job for. Everybody's getting laid off nowadays. So
As long as you can cover those tariffs, we can cover the rest.
you're like, Jesus Christ, bro. I literally just want to live, bro. I'm not trying to, like, you know, be dressed in head to toe Louis Vuitton designer. Like, I just want to pay my rent and buy some funny little figurines. Okay, I want to support local artists and their art and display it in my apartment. Like, is it too much to ask?
We have a lot of free real estate in this apartment.
Yeah, lots of free real estate here. We can buy some more. But anyway, like I said, thank you so much for watching the show. We hope you had a good time. We hope that, you know, you've been enjoying our episodes. Please comment down below if there's anything else you'd like to see from us, or any, you know, changes you want to see to our segments or topics that you want to get into. Like I said, like and subscribe. We are also on Instagram and TikTok at wesmellgoodpodcast. Please, please, please follow us there if you can. Like, comment, repost any of the stuff that you see. Any engagement really helps.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for episode 2.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us for episode 2. We are live with new episodes every Friday around 12. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you.